The Nomiki Show.
Speaking of name ID, I want to talk about the guy who ran for president now could potentially be our mayor, who has tremendous name ID with folks who are likely voters in New York City. And of course, I'm talking about Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for the trolls, guys, because they come in every single time. So Andrew Yang, I love following him because he knows so little about so much. If I had the confidence of an Andrew Yang, man, and it's just, and the press just is like, no big deal. We're just going to, like, they've treated him with kid gloves. And now, you know, people are starting to realize that he's not necessarily the nice guy they thought. Andrew Yang has made offensive, pandering remarks focused on parades and gay bars to a prominent LGBTQ group that he is seeking an endorsement from. Members also said that he failed to address substantive issues they were concerned with, including homelessness. This is a big deal in New York. These endorsements make all the difference because the special elections are, because turnout is very, I was in a special election. I just like went back into my programming of New York City running. I was like, because turnout is extremely low in general in New York City. So these endorsements can mobilize folks. And it's, you know, people are super sensitive, super tuned into politics in New York, very educated voters for these elections. And now we have ranked choice voting. So this is a big deal. This was the Stonewall Democratic Club of New York. I'm going to start with Lauren. What's your take on Yang and his momentum and his continuous disparaging comments and to everybody?
Well, first of all, I will say I'm all in on Diane Morales. She really inspires me as a person, and we've gone through the whole battle of being a woman running for office, and know that it's very uphill for her. So if you're listening, check out Diane Morales. That's just me and my personal endorsement. Andrew Yang, I've met him, spoken face to face. I think as a human, he's compassionate and has a lot of ideas.
He can make eye contact.
Yeah, sorry. People know him. I think the thing that I'm worried about is sometimes I think people realize that like Trump and Biden won with a lot of gaffes and constant media. And sometimes I'm worried, like Liz Smith is on his team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Liz Smith, just for folks who don't know, she's a very well-known press person, a press operative. She was working with Pete Buttigieg, and she's very well-known in New York. She's worked for de Blasio. Full disclosure, I am friends with her, so I, step aside.
Yeah.
But she knows what she's doing. She's very smart, very smart.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. And I think he's getting constant media. And that's really what I'll say is like, I think one of the things is we as a society can focus on him a lot, and we eat the gaffes up and everything. But meanwhile, like Diane's out on the streets protesting and fighting with the people, fighting with the workers. And she's a single mom who came out against her previous employer, who's not the best landlord in the city of New York. So I think I have a lot of thoughts, and I think maybe we're falling into a trap of the purposeful Yang press campaign.
Well, it's also the cameras get in front. I mean, once you start to get 50% of voters haven't decided yet, but once you're leading by double digits, then people just start following you around. It's a it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Mm-hmm. Brianna, you remember Yang, of course, from the presidential race. What are your takes on his comments?
Lauren really summed up Yang great. He's got a lot of good ideas, particularly just UBI. That's all I care about is universal basic income. But I don't understand why he's running for mayor in the first place. Didn't he just like randomly like move to New York and decide to run for mayor? I don't know the whole backstory, being an overview out here in Arizona. But everybody that I talk to in New York is involved in movement politics or progressive politics is completely turned off by him. And he continues to make these gaffes over and over and over. And Lauren is 110% right. And the news and the media continues to report these things. So it's just continuing to build his name ID for the race. And that's why Donald Trump won. They do these things for the clicks, and they don't care about the people that are potentially affected by the people that are put in office through their more or less surveillance capitalism. They want to continue to surveil us and get us to click on things. So I hope he doesn't win, but
I'm gonna go out and say I'm gonna fact check this. I don't think they're gaffes. I think this is him. A gaffe is a mistake. A gaffe is misstating something. A gaffe is mixing up words. This is somebody who literally has said offensive things about different communities and laughed in the face of people making disparaging comments about women. It's horrifying, and it's a, you know, it's also an indication, as somebody who's been the recipient of New York Press Corps sexism and unfairness. It's an indication of just how they treat men versus women, and specifically progressive women.
Nomiki show. The Nomiki show.